Today, I wanted to cover thinking like a developer. The idea behind thinking like a developer is trying to create the best solution to a complex problem in the simplest way, but maintaining modularity if it's needed. So, in this case, we can completely ignore the modularity because all we're doing is we're declaring a variable called age, making it 20. Now we're saying age is equal to my num age. So what's happening here? Well, age goes into num, and then num is incremented by 1, and then we return num. So naturally, it should output 21. I wanted to talk about how this isn't the best solution. We can simplify this using multiple ways. Multiple ways. I'm going to simplify it to the absolute simplest form. If I were to simplify this solution, the first thing I can see here is that this is not necessary. I can remove this, and now we get, oh, if it was swapped, we can do this and say num plus equals 1. But even then, we're only incrementing by 1. So I can do plus plus. So I've already simplified one portion of this. I can simplify it more. I can make this return statement separated by the comma operator. So I can return num plus plus num. And now I can remove this. So what's happening here is the comma operator in a return statement evaluates the left-hand side and returns the right. So if I run this, we still get 21 because this is still okay. So we've effectively removed one line of the code, so I've simplified it more, but I can actually simplify it even more. If I turn this function into an ES6 arrow function by declaring it as a variable instead and saying that it equals this anonymous function followed by an arrow, I haven't technically simplified it yet. I've actually added code. But what this allows me to do is do something called an implicit return. I can remove these brackets entirely and put this onto one line and remove the return statement entirely. Now, it's currently telling me that something's wrong. And the reason behind that is because I can't implicitly return with a comma statement unless I wrap it in parentheses saying that this block of code is what I want you to evaluate. So it still does our left-hand side evaluation and returns the right. And I've run it, and it still comes out as 21. So the idea here is that I have effectively shortened this code incredibly. I have removed 3 or 4 lines of code and reduced it to one that is still very readable. But I think there's still one easier way to do this. It's by deleting this entirely, including this, and just incrementing it in line. And I still get the same answer. The idea behind this is that even the most complex problem broken down into the simplest way is still too complex for the best solution.